Hello everyone, welcome to Economics Bridge. Let's make economics simple, practical, and easy to understand.
In the previous class, we learned about liberalization. Today, we'll discuss the second pillar of the LPG reforms, privatization. We'll understand its meaning, objectives, different measures adopted by the government, privatization policies in India, its limitations, and finally, the achievements and failures of liberalization and privatization from an exam perspective. Let's get started. 2. Privatization. Objectives are both the categories of nation developed as well as developing are laying emphasis on privatization. Important objectives of privatization are to ensure justified optimum allocation of domestic resources, to increase productivity and working capability, to promote industrial research and development for the technology extension, modernization, and rationalization of industry, to create positive atmosphere, to mobilize resource as per the requirement of the economy, to enhance managerial ability and efficiency, to coordinate private sector activities with that of public sector in accordance with national needs and priorities, to establish new enterprises, and to give support to import policy, to reduce the burden of foreign debt. Now, measures. Generally, two types of measures are adopted for the privatization of public sector. 1. Ownership measures. 2. Organizational measures. 1. Ownership measures. These measures include the transfer of ownership of public organization partially to private hands. Ownership transferred may be of two types. A. Total denationalization. It refers to the cost percent ownership transfer of public enterprises to an individual hand. For example, transport except railway. B. Joint venture. It refers to the joint ownership of government and private sector in an enterprise. But the structure of this enterprise depends on government policies. For example, Bihar Rajapul Nirman Nigam. 2. Organizational measures. Privatization includes the following organizational measures. A. Holding company. In it, government restricts its intervention with regard to high-level decisions only, and adequate autonomy is provided to the company to work with market forces. B. Leasing. In it, the working operation of the public enterprise are transferred to limited hands for a limited period under ownership right remains with the government. Thus, with it, proper bid, an individual becomes working operator of the public enterprise for a limited and specified period. C. Disinvestment. The act of selling equity shares of public enterprise by the government to private sector is called disinvestment. The objectives of disinvestment is to mobilize financial resources for the government and to include the working efficiency of the enterprise on the other. Privatization in India. Congress government in 1985 under the leadership of late Mr. Rajiv Gandhi led the foundation stone of privatization in India. Private sector was decided to be given more responsible role, and this opened the gateway to privatization in India. Since 1991, Indian government adopted a series of measures during economic policies which are termed as economic reform in other country. Increasing losses in the public sector enterprises put the pressure on the government to initiate the process of privatization in the economy. Factors promoting privatization. 1. In 1991, Indian government adopted a number of measures under economic reform and various policies like industrial policy, foreign investment policy, etc. has made, and this became the roadmap for the economy. 2. Growing debt burden. In the decade of 1990s, Indian economy excess in foreign debt trap to make industrial sector more productive and profitable. Government initiated privatization so as to exploit the existing capacity to the optimum level. 3. Entry of foreign company. As a result of liberalization process in the Indian economy, many multinational foreign companies started coming into India, and this also promoted privatization in India. 4. To make Indian companies more competitive, Indian economy in the phase of liberalization moved from protectionism to the liberalized open atmosphere. It was felt essential to make Indian companies eligible so as to face internal competition. Privatization was felt to be the best way to meet the regarding objective. 5. Increase in production efficiency. To make optimum utilization of economic resources and to make its efficient use, private sector was promoted. Government policy of privatization in India. To promote privatization in Indian economy, government took following steps. 1. De-reservation. Private sector working sphere was extended. The number of industries reserved for public sector was reduced to only 3. 2. Abolition of industrial licensing. Liberalized licensing was adopted to motivate privatization in India. The number of industries having compulsory requirements of licensing was 18 in 1991, which at present has been curtailed to 5. 3. Disinvestment of shares. Government initiated the process of de-investment in public sector enterprises to mobilize non-inflationary pressure. This process also fulfilled the privatization objectives of the government. 4. Removal of investment control on big business houses, MRTP Act, has been abolished. Now, any industrial house or organization is free to start its activities in any sector or region in the country. Memorandum of Understandings. Government has promoted Memorandum of Understanding to reduce the government control and make industries more responsible. Through MOUs, government involves enterprises to attain the fixed target of their production. Participation of private sector. Government has opened various sector likes banking, insurance, power, transport, communication, etc. for private sector. Promoting foreign investment. The government has allowed cent% foreign capital investment in basic and priority-based industries. Limitations of privatization in India. Privatization of public sector enterprises create many problems, such as 1. Private sector is centered around profit-making/earning motive and ignored national priorities as per the planning. 2. Private sector ignored labor-intensive production techniques, which fails to isolate the unemployment problem. 3. Privatization leads to centralization of power with big houses which become opposite of goal of social justice and equality. 4. Privatization has made multinational stronger in the country. 5. Privatization fosters the free play of market forces, but in the process, goods are produced only for those who have the means to buy them. When prices rise due to the free play of market forces, weaker section of the society suffer deprivation. Sirsila, tragedy. It is a noticeable example of evidence. Sirsila is a small town in Andhra Pradesh which is known for its power loom industries. This industry is the main source of livelihood in town. Privatization of power supply to this industry lead to a substantial hike in power tariffs. Cuts in wages was a serious consequence of power. Tariff high as wages lead to the production of cloth, which are drastically suffered. When wages were cut beyond the point of subsistence, workers started committing suicide in Sirsila. Achievements of liberalization and privatization. Indian economy has attained two-digit growth rate. National income has gone up. Industrial productivity activities have been extended and diversified. At present, India has emerged as the 12th largest industrial nation. Higher inflation rate could be brought down to the desired level. Foreign trade became extended to all continents of the world. Record growth is registered in forex reserves. India has emerged as an attractive destination for FDI and FIIs. Fiscal deficit could be controlled in India. failures of liberalization and privatization. Unemployment situations have become more worst. Domestic small industries could not face the international competition, and as a result, a number of small industries has closed down. Poor people became deprived of social resistance. Country became more dependent on foreign technology. Domestic saving and investment rate could not reach satisfactory levels. Consumer goods got more preference as comparison to capital and goods. Investment in agricultural sector has been curtailed down. Import substitution strategy is being given less priority. Demonstration effect has increased consumption and reduced saving. Thanks for watching. If you found this lesson helpful, please like, share, subscribe. See you in the next class.